1984, Anti-Zionism or Antisemitism. Critics of anti-Zionism have argued that opposition to Zionism can be hard to distinguish from antisemitism. 290, 291, and that criticism of Israel may be used as an excuse to express viewpoints that might otherwise be considered antisemitic. 292, 293, in discussion of the relationship between antisemitism and anti-Zionism. One theory holds that anti-Zionism is no more than veiled antisemitism. This is contrasted with the theory that criticism of Israeli politics has been discredited as anti-Zionism, and thus linked with antisemitism, in order to prevent such criticism. 294, in the Arab world, the words Jew and Zionist are often used interchangeably. To avoid accusations of antisemitism, the Palestine Liberation Organization has historically avoided using the word Jewish in favor of using Zionist, though PLO officials have sometimes slipped. 295. Some antisemites have alleged that Zionism was, or is, part of a Jewish plot to take control of the world. 296. One particular version of these allegations, a fake document known as the Protocols of the Elders of Zion claiming to outline Jewish plans to take over Fueled, achieved global notability. A 1920 German version renamed them the Zionist Protocols. 297. The protocols were extensively used as propaganda by the Nazis and remain widely distributed in the Arab world. They are referred to in the 1988 Hamas Charter. 298. Anti-Zionist writers such as Noam Chomsky, Norman Finkelstein, Michael Marder, and Tariq Ali have argued that the characterization of anti-Zionism as antisemitic obscures legitimate criticism of Israel's policies and actions, and that it is used as a political ploy in order to stifle legitimate criticism of Israel. Jewish-American linguist Noam Chomsky argues, there have long been efforts to identify antisemitism and anti-Zionism in an effort to exploit anti-racist sentiment for political ends. One of the chief tasks of any dialogue with the Gentile world is to prove that the distinction between antisemitism and anti-Zionism is not a distinction at all. Israeli diplomat have even argued, in a typical expression of this intellectually and morally disreputable position, even Congress bi-weekly, the 30th of March, 1973, but that no longer suffices. It is now necessary to identify criticism of Israeli policies as antisemitism or, in the case of Jews, as self-hatred, so that all possible cases are covered. Chomsky, 1989. Necessary illusions. Philosopher Michael Marder argues, to deconstruct Zionism is to demand justice for its victims, not only for the Palestinians, who are suffering from it, but also for the anti-Zionist Jews, erased from the officially consecrated account of Zionist history. By deconstructing its ideology, we shed light on the context it strives to repress and on the violence it legitimizes with a mix of theological or metaphysical reasoning and effective appeals to historical guilt for undeniably horrific persecution of Jewish people in Europe and elsewhere. 299. Jewish-American political scientist Norman Finkelstein argues that anti-Zionism and often just criticism of Israeli policies have been conflated with antisemitism, sometimes called new antisemitism for political gain, whenever Israel faces a public relations debacle such as the Intifada or international pressure to resolve the Israel-Palestine conflict. American Jewish organizations orchestrate this extravaganza called the new antisemitism. The purpose is severofold. First, it is to discredit any charges by claiming the person is an anti-Semite. It's to turn Jews into their victims, so that the victims are not the Palestinians any longer. As people like Abraham Foxman of the ADL put it, the Jews are being threatened by a new Holocaust. It's a role reversal. The Jews are now the victims, not the Palestinians. so it serves the function of discrediting the people, leveling the charge. It's no longer Israel that needs to leave the occupied territories, it's the Arabs who need to free themselves of the anti-Semitism. 300. Marcus Garvey and Black Zionism. Zionist success in winning British support for the formation of a Jewish national home in Palestine helped inspire the Jamaican black nationalist Marcus Garvey to form a movement dedicated to returning Americans of African origin to Africa. During a speech in Harlem in 1920, Garvey stated, "Other races were engaged in seeing their cause through the Jews through their Zionist movement and their Ish through their Irish movement, and I decided that, cost what it might, I would make this a favorable time to see the Negro's interest thrive." 301. Garvey established a shipping company, the Black Star Line, to allow black Americans to emigrate to Africa. But for various reasons he failed in his endeavor. Garvey helped inspire the Rastafari movement in Jamaica, the Black Jews, 302, and the African Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem who initially moved to Liberia before settling in Israel. See also American Council for Judaism, Gathering of Israel, Gallows Nationalism, Jewish Agency for Israel, Jewish Autonomism, List of Zionist figures, Romanistan, Yad Medinata, 0, pejorative.
Good, but I have to read again one or more time in the future. But there's many hundreds of links. I will read this one next, but I have to look links. This Zionism and see, and this one I have to look links. But that will take a few hours. I don't like to do today. I have to read again, look what to write down and what to have to download a lot. But I have so many. I was reading about space. I was reading about Elon Musk and his SpaceX company and his rockets, and because of the reader, that's the Space Starship. I'm going to read this, but when, I don't know, maybe I have to close all this down. I have it on my I have downloads. That's, I was supposed to read many weeks ago, all this space. This is why I have all this, and then I did read about nuclear weapons. I did not finish my nuclear weapons. Then I did Nazi Germany. I did not finish, I have to write this down. I can write this down and close it. This I have to look links. So I could write this Nazi Germany, could write it down. But I need a break. Then I will have to look for all these many links in Jews, Israel, Jerusalem. I already made a paper ready for this. There will be many papers like this. But now I did read Zionism. But this will take many months to read about it. So, but I can only read one by one. So let's download this Nazi Germany and delete it. I have to take a break from Nazi because I'm not feeling very well to read about this Nazi Germany and concentration camps and the Holocaust and death camps. I'm not feeling so well because my life is not so good now, so I have to read about something nice. So I will download all this about Nazi Germany. I will write it down and download. Then I will take a break and maybe read one more later tonight. Or not.